have decided to move on. I'm not gonna be working here anymore.
One moment, Lizzy Layton was the undisputed star of Matt's off-road recovery. The next, she had vanished. What forced her out? It wasn't a fight or a falling out. It was a chain of events starting with a devastating loss when she was just a girl, a secret promise, and a final decision that proves her story is the most incredible one of all. There's no turning back. Here's why the fairy tale had to end before the real nightmare began. The Girl in the Garage. Lizzy's story begins in a small town in the breathtaking state of Utah, a place where adventure isn't just a hobby, it's woven into the fabric of daily life. Her entire childhood unfolded against a stunning backdrop of fiery red rocks and vast open deserts. The perfect playground for a family with gasoline running through their veins.
I don't want to open my mouth. Oh my gosh. Talk about sand and glass blasting into your face. Holy macaroni.
Her father, a man named Stuart, was a true off-road enthusiast. Truth be told, he loved nothing more than pushing his truck to its limits on the gnarliest trails he could find. What many people don't know is that Stuart was also incredibly close friends with another local off-roading legend, Matt Wetzel, the man who would one day create Matt's off-road recovery. This deep friendship set the stage for Lizzy's entire world. From the time she was just a little girl, she was immersed in the roar of engines and the distinct smell of motor oil and desert dust. The thing is, these early years shape a person in profound ways. While other kids were inside playing with toys, Lizzy was in the garage watching her dad. Stuart didn't just let her watch, he brought her along on his adventures, teaching her the fundamentals of navigating rough country and, more importantly, how to fix a vehicle when something inevitably broke down miles from anywhere. She wasn't just an observer, she was his apprentice. These experiences ignited a real fire in Lizzy. She didn't just enjoy off-roading, she developed a genuine passion for it.
So we got a call for a razor out at Sand Hollow. It's on the West Rim Trail. And yes, I am in the driver's seat of the Moravier.
As she got older, her interest in the mechanical side of things blossomed into a full-blown obsession. She spent countless hours in her father's garage, soaking up every bit of knowledge she could about engines, transmissions, and suspension systems. She even became a skilled welder, a craft that demands incredible precision and a rock-steady hand. By the time she was a teenager, Lizzy wasn't just a girl who liked trucks. She was a seriously competent mechanic, capable of diagnosing and tackling complex repairs all by herself. But her passion wasn't just about fixing things, she lived for the thrill of the drive, of conquering a difficult obstacle that others would deem impassable. And through it all, she understood a fundamental truth of the off-roading world. People get stuck. It's part of the game. And when they get stuck, they need someone to pull them out. Lizzy became determined to master the tedious, difficult, and often dangerous art of vehicle recovery. And you won't believe it, but she quickly became amazing at it, her skills becoming the talk of her small town. She started helping out at a local garage where she built a reputation as a dedicated expert who truly knew her stuff. Her future seemed bright, paved with everything she loved most.
Hey, go for it.
But right when Lizzy was hitting her stride, her entire world came to a screeching halt. Then, completely out of the blue, the unthinkable happened. It was a devastating turn of events that would change her life forever. When she was just 14 years old, her father Stuart, her hero, her teacher, her mentor, tragically lost his life in a car accident. For Lizzy and her family, the loss was a crushing blow, an impossible weight to bear. It wasn't just that she had lost her dad, she had lost the very person who had sparked her passion, the one who had guided her and taught her everything she knew. For a moment, it seemed like everything had stopped. The roar of the engines went silent, and the future that had once seemed so clear was now dark and uncertain. But out of this darkness, a new path was about to be forged, one that would lead her to a place she never expected. In a moment of such profound tragedy, the true test is the community that surrounds you. At the end of the day, this is where the deep, unbreakable friendship between her father and Matt Wetzel became the single most important thing in the world. Matt wasn't just some casual acquaintance, he was one of Stuart's closest friends. They had shared countless adventures and built a bond on a shared love for the off-road lifestyle. Matt had watched Lizzy grow up. He'd seen her talent blossom in the garage, and he knew the depth of her passion.
I've known Lizzy her whole life. I bet you first time I saw Lizzy was within 24 hours of you being born.
He was not about to let her dream fade away with her father. In the wake of this horrible tragedy, Matt Wetzel stepped up in a massive way. He didn't just offer condolences, he offered support, guidance, and a place for Lizzy to belong.
We've got a new face today. This is Lizzy. She's helping us out. She's helped us out before, a long time ago.
A long time ago.
Honoring the bond he shared with his fallen friend, Matt took Lizzy and her family under his wing. Some might even say he essentially adopted her, becoming the father figure she so desperately needed. This was the start of an incredible partnership and a mentorship that would shape Lizzy's future in ways neither of them could have ever imagined. The truth nobody expected is that out of this heartbreaking loss, a new kind of family was about to be born. The thing is, when Matt took Lizzy in, he had just launched his YouTube channel, Matt's Off-Road Recovery, and it was rapidly gaining traction. The channel offered a thrilling window into the world of off-road emergencies, showcasing the incredible skill and ingenuity required to rescue vehicles from some of the most remote and dangerous locations imaginable.
Stop. Back up just a little bit. Okay, right there. Okay, turn your wheels a little to the right. Okay, Colin, hit it. Go, 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 go. You know what I'm
The show is set amid the majestic landscapes of southern Utah, especially around the world-famous Zion National Park. It's a land of sheer red cliffs, deep sand dunes, and treacherous rocky canyons. It's stunningly beautiful, but it's also a place where it's incredibly easy for even seasoned drivers to get into serious trouble. And that's where Matt, the star of the show, comes in. He's a calm, level-headed expert who seems to have a solution for every impossible situation. A true beacon of hope for stranded motorists. This is where Lizzy's story merges with Matt's. With Matt as her new mentor, Lizzy had an outlet for all the skills her father had taught her. She wasn't just the grieving daughter of his friend anymore. She became a core member of his recovery team. This young woman, still just a teenager grappling with an immense loss, began to shine. She dove headfirst into the action. Her years in the garage meant she knew her way around any vehicle, and her natural talent for recovery was obvious from the very beginning.
You're gonna want to keep the wheel crank to the left about like it is right there.
Okay.
We're just gonna pivot you around. If I tell you to give a little bit of gas, I'll tell you to do that, but I don't think you're gonna need to.
This new blended family was built on a shared passion, and it was clear that the bond between Matt and Lizzy was special. She looked up to him, and he was immensely proud of her. For viewers who didn't know the backstory, their close working relationship led to wild speculation. Rumors started to fly that they might be in a romantic relationship, or even that Matt was Lizzy's biological father. But these were just guesses from people who didn't know the heartbreaking truth. Their bond was forged in tragedy and built on Matt's promise to his friend to look after his daughter. In the year 2020, Lizzy officially started appearing on the channel and was an instant sensation. She appeared in more than 200 videos over the next few years, becoming a vital part of nearly every single recovery mission. Fans absolutely adored her. A young woman thriving in the male-dominated world of heavy-duty mechanics was unique, but it was her personality that sealed the deal. She had an infectious enthusiasm and a charming, down-to-earth presence that lit up the screen. And let's not forget, she was incredibly skilled, never afraid to get covered in mud or tackle the most challenging problems. Her popularity and the popularity of the channel soared. But then, right at the peak of her fame in July of 2023, she announced she was leaving and nobody could understand why.
I have decided to move on. I'm not going to be working here anymore. Maybe occasionally if Matt wants my help on a job or something, or if he comes out to my area, but I moved to a different town and have a different job out there, and so my time with Moore has ended.
The truth nobody expected. After Lizzy's shocking announcement, the rumor mill went into overdrive. For months, worried fans flooded comment sections with theories, many of them assuming the worst. They speculated about a huge fight, bad blood with the crew, or some kind of backstage drama with Matt himself. Why else would such a popular star walk away from a massively successful show? The truth nobody expected, however, was that there was no scandal at all. It wasn't about a fight or a falling out, it was about love. Long story short, Lizzy was building a rich personal life away from the cameras. In 2022, she had married a man named Clancy Ballard. The thing is, Clancy was also a passionate off-road enthusiast, and they shared a deep love for the great outdoors and for raising horses. For a while, Lizzy managed to balance her demanding work on the channel with her new married life. But then, in 2023, she and Clancy came up with a new life-altering plan. You see, Clancy's family owned a sprawling ranch in a picturesque part of the state called Kane County, Utah. The couple made the monumental decision to move away from the high-octane world of the recovery business and embrace a quieter, more pastoral life on the ranch. This was a conscious choice to build a different kind of dream together, one where they could be closer to nature and find a peaceful, wonderful environment to raise a family. Her priorities had simply shifted from winches and tow ropes to pastures and family. And just when you thought the story couldn't get any more heartwarming, the way the crew handled her exit proved just how strong their family bond really was. There was no bitterness or resentment. In fact, they honored her departure in the most supportive way imaginable. They threw her a massive send-off party celebrating her immense contributions to the show and her exciting new journey.
So, we got a little party for you, a little going away party. We're gonna have some cake and some stuff, kind of have a good time.
And if that wasn't enough, they presented her with an unbelievable gift. They gave her a 2016 Ford F-150 EcoBoost truck, a vehicle she had once mentioned was her absolute dream car. This wasn't just a simple goodbye present, it was a practical and deeply heartfelt gift that would be incredibly useful for her new life on the farm.
This is a 2016 Ford F-150 EcoBoost. It's the FX4 off-road package, and it's got a tonneau cover. Should do Lizzy really well while ranching.
To further show their love, the team also released a limited edition baseball hat in their online store to honor her time with the crew.
Speaking of that, we have a limited number of Lizzy hats left. We're not going to be making these again. So if you've been meaning to grab your Lizzy hat, you can go to mattsoffroadrecovery.com. Pick one up while they last. I'm sure they're going to go fast. And like I said, it's a limited number. That's it. When they're gone, they're gone.
It's the best hat you'll ever own.
Suddenly, everything made sense. She was leaving to start a new exciting adventure of her own, and she even promised to drop by for guest appearances. Lizzy's journey is a powerful one. She faced an unimaginable personal tragedy at a very young age and managed to turn that pain into incredible strength. With the support of Matt and her off-road family, she thrived, becoming a role model for millions. But while Lizzy left the show for a happy new life, the years that followed were not nearly as simple for Matt's off-road recovery, as a new scandal was about to surface that would tarnish the show's wholesome image forever. Just as the dust settled on Lizzy's departure, a significant problem surfaced that changed how many people viewed the show. This is where it gets wild. It was a scandal that revealed a much different, more complicated side of the recovery business. In late 2021, the show's leader, Matt Wetzel, was accused of breaking the law. He was formally charged with insurance fraud. This means he was accused of deliberately deceiving an insurance company to get money. The company in question was AAA, and the problem was centered on the very work Matt's channel is famous for: saving vehicles from the middle of nowhere. Here's the crazy part. State investigators found that Matt's company, Winder Towing, had been submitting numerous bills to AAA for recoveries that were not covered under AAA's policies. For example, AAA provides roadside assistance for standard cars on regular roads, not for specialized off-road vehicles that get hopelessly stuck in deep sand dunes or remote muddy trails. In one well-documented case, the team filmed an elaborate rescue of a Polaris RZR, a popular off-road side-by-side.
We got a call for a side-by-side that it won't start. They're saying they need to be towed out of the dunes. They're clear up on the back side. So we're gonna head up there and get them pulled back to the staging area.
However, the bill sent to AAA claimed they had rescued a normal on-road Jeep. Behind the scenes, the situation grew more complicated. The owner of the RZR later stated that Matt had instructed him to use a friend's AA membership to pay for the very expensive rescue. The state's investigation ultimately uncovered that Matt's company had received over $15,000 from AAA for off-road rescues that should never have been paid for under their program. In the end, Matt accepted a plea deal in court. He was placed on probation for 18 months, which served as a strict warning period, and was ordered to pay back all the money in addition to hefty fines. The news came as a genuine shock to many fans who had come to see Matt as a hero of the off-road world. This scandal had serious ripple effects on the channel and its community. It made everyone look at the show a little differently. The pure fun of watching them save the day was still there, but now it was shadowed by a complicated real-life legal issue. Online forums and comment sections lit up with debate. It gets even deeper. Some people fiercely defended Matt, arguing he was just finding a creative way to help his customers and that large impersonal insurance companies were the real villains. Other fans were deeply disappointed, feeling let down that he had not been completely honest in his business dealings. It's also worth noting that around the same time, other beloved members of the crew like Trevor and Baker also departed from the show. Their sudden absence from the videos only fueled more speculation that there were other internal problems happening behind the scenes that the public wasn't aware of. Lizzy walked away from the spotlight to chase a new dream, but with all the turmoil surrounding the channel since she left, did she make the right choice? Like, subscribe, and tell us what you think in the comments below.